Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to Hershey STV. I'm Japera Christian.
And I'm the King's Kid.
And I am Miss Muse.
Today's topic is, why do women act on emotional decisions more than logical? I think it kind of goes into, we just take everything kind of to heart and everything's more personal, as opposed to think of like the long term and realistic issues.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's why it's more emotional than anything. We're not really thinking of the seriousness of everything, whether it's relationships, jobs, family, anything like that.
And we're the emotional ones out of the group. King Ash is the more logical one. So Ashley, why do you think?
I think it's because I'm a little bit more masculine, honestly. I think that
And it drives me crazy.
it's not even a role. It's just not even to say that some women who are, not even gay, who are like just, a little bit more aggressive, you tend to make more logical decisions, especially when people are depending on you, or even if you're not gay, single mothers and things of that nature. When you don't have the luxury, I think like emotional decisions are like, I look at those as like luxuries I can't afford, because when you make an emotional decision, a whole bunch of stuff can come after that, and it didn't even really, that could really hurt you in the future, and it didn't really do anything but make you feel better at the time, but it actually damaged real life stuff. And so I just find myself to kind of like, I get angry like anybody else or something like that, but I find myself to kind of just be quiet and introvert and process things, bounce things off of people before I actually make a decision that is emotional, because it's just it's too much damage that could occur from being emotional, and I just I'd rather look at the bigger picture than the instant.
So has it ever been a point though that you have been just led by emotion versus logic though?
Alcohol induced.
I think that's all of us.
Alcohol induced. Get real emotional, turn real feminine, like
Like that's a bad thing. Hold up.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm drinking alcohol and I'm already have something on my chest, the alcohol literally starts bringing out. I'm no longer able to process and control my thoughts, because alcohol is now clouding my brain.
Right.
And so now that's usually when I tend to make either really good emotional decisions, or I'm super affectionate, or super this way, or super that, or I'm making bad emotional decisions. Either I'm super angry, or I'm not trying to hear nothing because I'm drunk and I'm not even processing. But if I was in the same circumstance sober, I would never react the way that I would react when I was drunk.
And see, for me, it's just like, my thing is I am a reactor versus a responder, if that makes sense. Because when you react, you don't think. You just react into whatever the situation is. But when you are a responder, you have an opportunity to think about something before you react to it. And I think that because we are, no matter how dominant, I'm not going to say masculine, because you're not masculine, you're dominant, you're alpha female. So it doesn't matter if you're an alpha female or not. I just think that if you don't have that ability to switch that one thing off versus responding and reacting, it's always going to come off as you are dealing with things on an emotional level versus a logical level. Because I think with logic, you have to think first, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta plan. You gotta be a planner.
You got to be a planner.
And I'm not.
So
Petty. I'm not a planner.
we
Petty,
all,
Petty.
but we all have our petty moments though. And I just think like this, in regards to the pettiness, certain circumstances bring out different results. Like not everything, if I'm dealing with my sisters, you're going to see every emotion from me. You're going to see the bitch, you're going to be happy, mad, logic, whatever the case may be. When I'm dealing with someone outside, I have learned to be a little bit more settled in most cases, unless it's alcohol induced. Right. Then it's the turn up queen. How you gonna do that?
Emotional decision.
It is. But I think, you know what, in real life situations, we as women, we deal with relationships more, some women, not gonna say all, on a more emotional thing versus a logical thing, until something occurs and you have a moment to be like, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have did something differently. Would you agree to that, Japera?
Yeah, like, I think I even take that to that whole talk into relationships strictly. Let's just deal with that one at a time. If it's something new, I'm not really thinking of what's going to be long term or where are we going with this. Everything's emotional state.
Okay.
That honeymoon stage. Everything is, oh, this one makes me feel this way. I love every minute with her. These things. These are all emotional things. Nothing in that is, are we going to get married? Even though we did kind of think about that fast. But are we going to get married? Everything, the logical decisions, the seriousness of it.
But
so
let me
that's
ask
all
this.
emotional.
So when y'all two decided to get married, was it initially a lustful thing to say, you know what, that's the one for me? Or was it...
We always knew that. We always knew that this one was the one that wanted to just dive right in. And that time, I think we kind of reversed roles.
Okay.
That one, I was kind of thinking, okay, are we ready to do that? Is that too fast? This one's like, let's just go to North Carolina. And then when I finally came around, that's something we talk about a lot. It takes me forever to come around on stuff. When I finally did come around, she was just like, oh, now you want to get married? And I'm like, I just have to sit here and kind of think about some stuff. So I think in that situation, the marriage thing alone, I think we reversed roles. What you have to say? What? Because I don't feel
she's
like
shaking her
I don't
head.
want to.
I mean,
I
Whatever.
don't feel like when I knew, it wasn't I knew because of emotions. I literally thought about I knew fast. I knew
She was
quickly
emotional.
who she was. I knew what I liked, what I didn't like. I knew what she brought to the table. I knew the difference between her and some of my exes. I had processed these things and I had really looked at, okay, well, what do I not like about the other women I've dated? Why did I not want to marry them? Why do I always feel this need that I really do want to take it to the next level with her? And then for me, it's like, once I know. I don't got to do a whole bunch of like this and that. It's not even about being emotional, but it's when I start to make a decision on something, that's what it is.
You have your mindset.
My mind is set, and it's like, even though it took us like almost 3 years from the initial point of me wanting to get married, it was still like, even with her getting on board, I was still like, I already knew this 3 years ago. You just kind of like held this up.
But not everybody has... that's a gift, though. Not everybody has that. And you got to think about it like this, ladies. A lot of women, including myself, we see the world with blindfolds on. And it's really hard when you looking at things of that nature to see what's real and what's not real. And I think, you know how people say when you meet somebody it's love at first sight? I don't believe in that.
What?
But
I don't believe in that.
I didn't believe into it until I felt like, not like love at first sight, but like, and within our first conversation, like literally I said this to people ask me all the time, and I'm like, the first time that we hung out, in my head, the first time ever in my life, all I was thinking was, you're going to marry this girl. This consistent thought the whole time. And I was like, I've never had that happen to me on any girl I've dated, so hung out with them or nothing like that. That's never happened to me. So it was kind of like, I was judging everything as it was coming in.
But how did you know that? And you didn't know. Y'all were in the same relationship.
Right. I think because I had already experienced so much stuff, that I knew I had something to balance it off of. Like, I've been a lesbian for so long. I had something to bounce it off of, and I knew what my future was going to be like in a lesbian world. And I think for her, everything was so new with me, and it was just kind of like, yeah, I love this, but is this real? Is this like really what I want to do? I mean, those are big decisions that she had to make for her own life, and then, the life of a child as well. So for me, I feel like that was the hang up with us, was because of like trying to, where she was, I was already out. I had already done 10, 12 years being openly gay and going through all the crazy stuff and all that. So I just knew. And I felt, do I feel like if it had been a straight situation, do I feel like it would have been faster? I do think it would have been faster because she was comfortable. And she was comfortable in that lifestyle. And so that would have been easier to be like, okay, well, accept me for that. But there was a lot of stuff that comes with coming out and being gay and letting your family know. All that stuff she was experiencing in the first year we dated, and I had already went through all of that.
Still experiencing.
And still experiencing. And I've already went through all of that, and I've set my place. So
when did you know that it wasn't a lust thing? It was actually love.
I was dropping the love word a couple days in. But lesbians move fast. They move fast.
Why though?
I love her.
But you can't just say
I can't
that.
really
Just
describe
lesbian.
it. It was just kind of it was a feeling that was set apart from everything else. I don't think it was a lust thing. I really did love
look at your wife.
her. I really.
How Ash just said it though. For her, she automatically knew. When did you know?
I knew right then. I think okay, maybe not that exact day, a couple days later, because, again, letting everything process. She's sitting there just opening up about her life and things like that. And I think I was more into that, like, the logical stuff. I was thinking, where's this gonna go? What is this really? Is this just kind of like we're hooking up? Even then, we hooked up that night. But just saying, like, where is this really gonna go? What is this even gonna be? Because I literally came from the situation of my son's dad where we were roommates to getting into the dating scene. And it's just kind of like, is this serious? Is this just kind of like something new, something fun for the moment? And she's sitting here thinking this is forever. I loved her, and the whole getting married thing kind of kicked into my mind later. But the love thing, I knew from the jump.
See,
I
for
did.
me,
I had
it's
a
different.
hard way of showing it, though. Our ways are different.
But see, for me, because I, have hetero sexual relationships, I am not driven by emotion because I'm misled. And I'm misled. And I know about myself. I'm misled because, again, I'm a woman. I'm emotional. And normally when things feel good to me, that's a red flag. Like, it's not going to always just
It's
feel...
like, what is wrong?
Like,
here?
why?
Something's got to happen.
Why do I feel this way about this person? I just met him. There should be no reason. What's the catch?
I think everybody has that in the back of their mind.
But because we are emotional beings, some a little bit more overtly than others.
Yeah, I don't ever think about like what's the catch.
I do.
Oh, I did.
I
did.
Even when we were...
I do.
It took us a few days going in. Like I said, something's got to give.
Something
Or
gotta
everything's
give.
good. And then when we got into it, I was like, I knew it. Time bomb. I knew it was going to come.
But I think that like, I don't know, I just don't have those kind of like, I don't expect things to be bad. I expect things to be life. I expect people to be
That's a good
people.
statement.
I expect things, everything's not going to be happy. I think I'm just so realistic on like my terms and what, inviting people into your life and all of that stuff. There's going to be bad times. There's going to be good. We're not going to make it. It's not going to be sweet every day. But for me, it doesn't take away from the fairy tale. The fairy tale is that it's really happening either way. If it's, magical the whole time, or even if it gets raw, it's still the fact that you love this person enough to go through the bad. I want to see what's gonna happen bad and where you gonna be at.
But that's what we
how
get caught up
gonna-
on, though, Ash.
You know,
The fairy tale part of it.
yeah.
Honey
See,
on
I
the
don't
stage.
be thinking about the fairy tale because in real life.
But people sell you dreams.
Now I don't know, that niggas be selling pipe dreams. See, I wasn't saying everything I said I was.
Women
I
do the same thing.
But I'm not. Oh, you true. But I feel like maybe it's just me. I am who I
You a
say I
different
am.
breed.
Like if I say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. That is what I'm gonna do. It's no like. And I guess for me, it's always been a hindrance because there are so many people that are not like that.
Right.
That when I meet people, I'm always dealing with the jadedness from previous people, and I don't treat people like I don't got exes that would have left me jaded. But I don't think of. I feel like my exes are my exes for a reason. I'm not gonna take whatever they did to me and bring it into this person.
But it's hard to do. Initially, in your frontal lobe, you think like, yeah, I'm not going to do that because it's not fair. That person didn't have anything to do with whatever the case may be. But realistically, because we all are damaged in our own way, you bring that extra baggage. It could be a trigger. You could trigger her from something that happened in a past relationship, and she's bringing out that emotion that she felt in your current. And it's not intentional.
Right.
We are creatures of habit, and that also includes when we are going through things, and I'm just going to go back to what we were talking about a few moments ago in regards to people selling you this dream. Like, dudes, I've never been in a relationship with women, but I've dealt with women on that level before, so I don't really know how that is. But for men, I want to do this for you. I want to provide you the house with the white picket fence. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to grow you. And it's nothing like that, though. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's an unrealistic goal because most average working Americans, at the end of the day, if you're not sitting on a lottery ticket or a pass, like, we're going to have to work together to grow together. Like,
Bingo.
At the end of the day, and it shouldn't be if you're talking to a man or a woman, what am I going to, I don't start a conversation with a girl about what I'm going to do for you. What I can tell you I can do for you emotionally. I can tell you what I can do for you mentally. But I'm
We
not
don't
going to
really
sit here
have
and
that
talk
talk.
to you about,
We don't even really have that talk. It's just more
Like,
of acting.
it's an
how we
action.
feel.
But don't you think it's something that it is an action, but it still needs to be, everybody is not a good communicator.
Sure.
You know, people don't set realistic goals, realistic boundaries for a
I think 'cause
relationship.
people be lying to themselves and they don't really, I think that people don't really know who they are. Like, I know
That's
what my
true.
weaknesses are and I know what my strengths are. And because I judge myself first before I bring anything out to you, I look at a conversation. If it goes wrong, my first thought is, what did I do wrong? And where did I go? And where could I have done this wrong? Now, after I've executed in my brain that I didn't really do nothing to you to deserve whatever you responded to me, now we're going to have a conversation. But at the end of the day, like, if you don't assess yourself first, you always going to be judging other people because you're not looking at what you do by human nature.
But people don't do that though. They don't say, "Well, damn, what did I do?" They don't do that.
They're like, it's your fault.
Period. We
They
always
play the the blame game.
So
That's what it is.
okay, so let me ask you this, ladies. Do you think that us women folk are unable, with an exception of you, to think logical because our counterparts are the more logical ones?
Men,
Mm-hmm.
It's doable.
I think women can think
Comes across
logical.
strong though.
But what would have to come out of that person?
I think
though?
the women have just been being pacified and been put into a thought process that women are emotional. And if you keep saying this thing about yourself, then that's what you become.
That's my
You know,
reality, though.
But I feel like if we around other women and we have just casual conversation, we're like, girl, you know I'm emotional, or I make this emotional. You're
dramatic.
putting that on yourself.
I like that.
Yeah, we speak things into existence. I don't say that I'm emotional. What I say is that I'm logical, and then because I speak that so much into myself, it starts to come out in my character. And I think that because society preconceives us and we start to fall into certain, expectations, or certain like stereotypes, then we've said it so much, we've convinced ourselves that you could get control over whatever you want to be. If you don't want to be emotional, you could literally take control of your life that way.
I haven't learned that.
It's just self-determined. I've changed from so many different people in my life at being 30 years old, from the one thing to the next thing. And I know that it wasn't because anybody changed me. It was literally because I stopped myself and was like, I don't think this is what I want to do. I don't want to be this type of person. Do I want to be an emotional person? Do I want to be irrational? Do I want to be irresponsible? I literally had to do self-checks. And every point of me that has grown has been not because a woman told me to, or it was getting me into some type of trouble. It was literally because I was just like, getting too old for this. Like, what's the bigger picture here? What do I really want to achieve?
Grow.
And you, like you say, if it doesn't grow, it dies. And that's at every aspect. You are not growing yourself, if you can't say, at 17 I was this person, and at 30 I'm still this person. You got a problem. Like, and it's not even an age thing. It's like common sense. You need to start like kicking into stuff or whatnot.
But you know what? With my sisters, I can be less emotional. I could like, I don't think y'all have ever seen me like just out of my square. With dudes,
yeah, I seen you one time. I was like, that ain't even.
I'm going 0 to. I have no tolerance. I have no tolerance, and it's because of all of that past shit that I may not, vocalize it, but it's in the back of my head. And then there are certain triggers that they'll do that'll piss me off, and I'm gonna give you your business. I'm more tolerant with women than I am with men.
But I'm more tolerant with women than I am with men. Like in a man's situation, in a business, or just men in general.
Yeah.
When they come up to me and say anything to me, it's not that I hate men. I hate ignorance, and I hate ignorant men. Like, come on, like, leave this stuff to the, if you're gonna ask me something stupid, like, don't do that. Like, I don't like weak men. I don't like, and it's not even that I don't like men. It's not that.
You intimidate men, though.
And if that bothers me,
You know what,
that
ladies,
really
we can
bothers
sit
me.
here and go back and forth about tonight's topic all night. And as you can see, we definitely have different views and opinions, but that's what makes us us. Again, tonight's topic is, why do women make emotional decisions over logical?
Okay, but tonight's topic is, why do women make emotional decisions versus logical ones?
Yes.
But make sure you follow us at Hershey's TV on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Check out our website. You'll get blogs and events and things that we're doing around the city of Atlanta, Hershey's.tv. And if you have any questions or you want to do an interview with us, hit us up on an email at HersheySTV@gmail.com. And until next time.
We out.
Bye.